Well, hi there. There are lots of rad reptiles out there, but which ones are the absolute ultimate? To figure this out, I had to ask myself the question, what makes a reptile the ultimate? It had to be the balance between how difficult it is to keep and how much joy it brings into your life. Nothing is going to make this list simply because it is easy to keep. It has to be reasonable to keep, but it also has to be one of the most fun reptiles on the planet with which to interact and observe. If it was the only reptile that you had, it alone would have to be able to prevent you from drifting off into a wasteland of despair. This is my opinion based on my experience right now. This list may change in the future, so you might want to just like and subscribe. Especially subscribe, click the little bell, just in case an update to this comes out in the future. Our first category for the ultimate pet reptile is the category of small lizards. Runners-up in this category included the New Caledonian geckos, basically all of them, because they're all fairly reasonably sized. None of them are what I would call a big lizard, even leechies. And they're all excellent pets. Tons of agamid lizards, like bearded dragons, for example. A ton of skinks, because I love skinks, fire skinks, and blue-tongued skinks even are maybe in the small lizards, though they're maybe pushing the boundary between small and large lizards. The jeweled lacerda, of course, which I love tremendously. But there can only be one winner. And the winner of this round is the Ackie Monitor. Oh goodness, I love these so much. At the end of the day, this is a lizard with which you have a very, very real relationship. Where are you going? Huh? They're active, fun, interactive, and they will hang out with you for a long time. They're not as easy to handle as some of the runners-up, but it is worth it to put in the time to build a relationship with these incredible little lizards. They're just a tiny lizard that won't leave you wanting for anything. They are so special and wonderful. You gonna climb on my head? Is that the plan? Nope, back onto my back. Let's see what's next. Our next category are the big lizards. Runners-up in this category include lots and lots of different large monitor lizards. Also the Cyclura iguanas, such as the Cuban rock iguana and the rhinoceros iguana. But the winner is probably something you could have guessed long before you even clicked on this video. It's the Argentine tegu. If you have the space, this is just the best pet lizard there is. How amazing. They are incredibly personable. Oh yeah, aren't you, Mr. Duck? You definitely have a very special relationship with these guys, and they will never bore you because they're interesting every day, all day long. Hi, guys. They're actually very easy to feed for a giant lizard, which is a big plus. The closest thing you're going to be able to get to a dog in a lizard body. I just love them. In many ways, actually, they're even better than a dog. We've actually got a whole video on this. Our next category for the ultimate pet reptile are the small snakes. Runners-up in this category include sand boas, garter snakes, corn snakes, at least when they're younger. They start to maybe outgrow this category. And the winner is the Western hognose. Aren't you great, Shovelface? Unless, of course, we're considering ball pythons to be small snakes, in which case, I'm not sure anymore. So let's just go with the hognose snake. These are delightful, wonderful little snakes. They've got one of the goofiest faces in the world, which actually, in my experience, helps a lot of people overcome their fear of snakes, because they're so silly. They're an active snake and actually fun to watch in their enclosure, which isn't really the case for a lot of snakes. And they're very low-key to handle. They don't whip around, they're not quick and darty. They actually behave a lot more like a really big snake. They just happen to be in a very reasonable little package. Hognose snakes, I just adore them. Our next category are the big snakes. Runners-up in this category include ball pythons, false water cobras, boa constrictors, pituophis. I don't know if a lot of these count as big snakes or not. Burmese pythons might be a runner-up. And the winner is the boa imperator, also known as the BCI or common boa, Colombian boa. This is a Central American boa. In my opinion, they are just the absolute perfect size to hold. They have a good, not perfect, but a very, very good temperament. They're probably a little bit bitier than some of the other snakes on this list, like ball pythons, even Burmese pythons. Of course, if you get bitten by one, it's not nearly as severe as a bite from a Burmese python. The care is fairly easy for these guys, which is a huge plus. If I could only have one individual pet snake, this is probably what I would have. They're just unbelievable and spectacular, and I adore them. Common boa. Next up, for the ultimate pet reptile, are these small turtles. Runners up include mud and musk turtles, and tons of other small water turtles. Small tortoises like the Russian tortoise. And the winner is... I just don't think there are any small turtles that fit these criteria. Sorry. I love water turtles. Tortoises are adorable. But if my only pet reptile was a small water turtle or a little tortoise, I'm just not sure that would keep me out of the wasteland of despair. Fear not! There is a turtle that can. It's just bigger. Runners up include the mata mata turtle, the alligator snapping turtle, the sulcata tortoise, all sorts of rad soft-shelled turtles. And the winner is the common snapping turtle. This might be my favorite animal in the world. I love the look of them, but I actually like the look of alligator snapping turtles and mata matas even more. That said, it's the personality and the intelligence of these turtles that totally puts them over the top for me. You can build a relationship with these turtles like you can with a monitor lizard. Isn't that right, Bubba? And it still looks like a freaking dinosaur. And our final category is just called Crocodilians, because they're all big. Runners up include the American alligator and other small caimans. And the winner is the Cuvier's dwarf caiman. Not only is this the most reasonably sized of all crocodilians, it is, in my opinion, the coolest looking as well. No crocodilian would ever be boring. They've got intelligence for days. They might hurt you real bad, but you're not just gonna turn up missing. This is my wildest dream reptile, and it is the only one on this list that I've never kept. We'll see if it happens. In conclusion, do not ask me which one of these is my very favorite, because I don't know. But all of them will fill you with enough joy to keep you out of the wasteland of despair. That much I know. Which reptiles would be on your list of the ultimate pet reptiles? We have full videos about every single one of these ultimate pet reptiles down in the description. So if you became interested in any of these, if you think that this could be the reptile that's going to keep me out of the wasteland of despair, make sure to check out those videos. Also, we've got videos about a whole lot of the runners up as well. This is just my list, right? And they might have made your list, or you might want to know more about them, because some of them were darn close to being number one as well. Some of them may, in fact, be able to keep you out of the wasteland of despair. It's just maybe not quite as well as the ones that we actually selected. So check those out. I'd also like to thank our patrons at Patreon for just a moment, who have actually made it possible for us to get some of these ultimate pet reptiles so that we can show them to you on a regular basis, because really, why would you not want to see these all the time? Thank you to our patrons at Patreon. We appreciate all that you do for us so very much. As always, like and subscribe. We hope to see you real soon. They might hurt you real bad, but you're not just gonna turn up missing. But he's just on my back in the middle. Yeah. Going down?
Yeah.
Gonna hop down?
He's going back up.
Is he? Up is okay. Can you see him? He's like on my bum.
He's on your back.
He's heading back up?
Yeah.
Good boy. He's a good boy. I like him. Oh boy. Danger, danger, danger. Crikey. Alright. Okay. This might be my favorite animal. Oh boy. Did y'all see that snag? There you go. Calm down. No big deal.